first off, I want to kind of talk about the technological thing, just to take a step back in our discussion there. It does. I think that the technological side of it might be contributing to the issue. I mean, social media is definitely not possible without technology, but to say that we should take a step back in technological advancement is so contrary to our culture right now. Like the world's culture, right? We're defined by progress and progressing forward and more technology, better technology, using the technology. So to say that we should get rid of our smartphones or eliminate the capability for something is completely it's just such a difficult question to even start to address. Like that flies in the face of capitalism, in the face of progress, etc. So I think that I think technology is part of it, but I don't think that's going anywhere.
And I'm by no means saying let's get rid of it. I'm just saying that could be a contributing factor to why social media is the negative sides of social media, being able to have it wherever you are. Like I love technology. I think it's great. I think that it moves too fast for my liking. I'm old, so it takes me a while to get used to new things. But there's also dangers in technology too. What is the technology doing to our bodies? All the radioactivity and everything. There's so many different points you could talk about. But yes, I'm not suggesting to go back on the cell phone. I love having the perks that we do have with the cell phones.
A lot of the issues that occur with social media happen because it's excessively used. I feel like if people knew how to use it in moderation, only for small periods of the day at a time, then they'll get the benefits, being able to connect with other people and share their lives without being so invested and dedicating so much time that they become like emotionally dependent on it, Like I was reading an article that said people who have trouble in their lives, problems with work or in their relationships, use social media as an escape to cope with their negative feelings, which sounds good. It gives people an opportunity to break away from their hard lives and enjoy themselves for a while, right? But then, as it turns out, they start to become dependent on social media to get those feelings of relief. And so they focus more and more time on social media instead of dedicating time to fix the problems in their own lives. They find, I can just escape through social media, so that's how I'll cope with my problems in my life. And so what ends up happening is they get addicted to social media while their real lives aren't getting much better.
Yeah, and I think that last part, I just want to add on, the addiction to social media is definitely, it's real. People are addicted to it. And as such, I think that, like you look at other addictive substances, the government has intervened to control their consumption. So it's kind of a tricky subject, which I think is why we haven't got there yet, but should the government be controlling access to social media? Yeah, I don't know.
See, this brings up to me, which is the point that is now seeing, like the new documentary, The Social Dilemma on Netflix has arisen. A lot of the new podcasts are discussing it. All of the engineers of Google, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, that are former employees that were on the ethical boards are saying these apps are designed for addiction. They are designed with the addiction in mind. They did psychological testing on what allows a casino to remain prosperous. They used the data through psychology and technological dependence in the manufacturing of these apps. So there's only so much we can blame ourselves and our own lack of discipline. And of course, it's easy to say, don't get addicted to it. Be smart with it. And show good practices. Like I was saying earlier, teach the children the dangers of it. And we can go on and on about how we can better use these things and turn your notifications off and take all of these steps to better our relationship with the apps. However, the technology is designed specifically for this addiction. So we are in the grip of something that is intensely powerful. And it was written about 40 years ago when the television came out, the power of being zoned in and locked in by the TV. We are that times a million with the phone because we have way more information. The pictures are brighter. We're not in black and white anymore. We're in 4K now. We are in Dolby. We're in earbuds that are now better than any sound system that you could have ever imagined in 1980s are in your ears that are the size of a loonie. So we are so far past the technological revolution. These apps are being manufactured with this in mind. And though there has been changes, Instagram removed the likes. Instagram removed the news feed where you could see what people were looking at. So even though there are changes being made, the meat and bones of these apps is designed with addiction in mind, and the goal and is part of their makeup. So that's the other side of this slippery slope that we're getting down, is that we need to take our power back, but I think we need help.
A good point to that addiction reminds me of a story from my friend in the summer was telling me. I think I can share this because they're no longer together. So his girlfriend at the time she would tell him, I am super addicted to my Instagram. And the reason she was addicted was because she could create a false image of herself where she would use filters. And for example, there was a picture that I had seen because I knew the girl. I was friends with her on my Instagram. And he said, go onto her thing and pull up that picture. And it was a picture of them in Dominican, and she was in the pool. And the picture was, perfect picture of this girl's body. And my buddy, whose name is Junior, says, here, now look at this. I took that picture. And he showed me the real picture. And it was completely different. She created skinny, tiny hips, a huge, big butt, and she enhanced the size of her breasts as well. And she admitted to him, this is my addiction because I can create. She was so self-conscious about her body and her appearance. She'd go onto her Instagram profile, take pictures, modify them, and put them out there so the world would see a different version of her. And that's a crazy addiction.
And that's another important element of social media. I think if we want to move to that topic, is the idea of being able to craft your image that everybody else sees of you, and that causing depression in other people because they only see the best of everybody else's lives. Like nobody posts videos of them washing the dishes and doing everything they normally need to in life. They just post pictures of themselves having fun and looking good, and maybe even edit the pictures. So it's a way of crafting your image, and maybe if you spend too much time on it, it can give you an unrealistic view of the world.